Hi, you guys. I'm live. Okay. If you see any smoke, as I'm burning some of the sage that I got when I was at Mushroom Rock. There was naturally growing silver sage surrounding the mushroom rock. So I took a little bit of it and I'm burning it. I just burnt an incense from a friend. If you see smoke, that's what's going on. Don't be alarmed. Don't be alarmed. Okay. It's kind of cool. Looks pretty, doesn't it? Gorgeous, gorgeous. Speaking of which, the parts of this system imprint on so many things. It's wild. I was going live talking to you guys. It was called Rehash. And I tried to take a drink of something and I don't know what happened, but it basically flew out of the cup and landed on my heart. Basically, let's just say in the pattern of this the system and exactly how I had gotten it the day before. So maybe I'll make the thumbnail of this, the pattern I slopped on myself and the cloud I'd gotten the day before. It's kind of weird because it's like everything I see, I can see it in his. Yes, I understand that it's our programming as a human being to find order in disorder, to find patterns amongst things that aren't normally patterns. So that could be it. But okay, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is I got an interesting download last night. Woke up in the middle of the night and it was just like, so I was trying to get it all out so I could remember it to tell you guys. So, what I was being shown was the Coral Castle down in Florida, where this little teeny 5-foot guy constructed this amazing castle out of coral. He basically only used a tripod that couldn't withstand anywhere near the weight of the pieces he was using and moving, and he was by himself. Um, and at the top of these tripods, maybe I'll try and link a video to this, but you can do your own research. At the top of these tripods, there was a little black box. So what I think he was doing was using sound. Oh, this sage, this natural untouched sage. Man, it's such a nice, I can't smell very well since the COVID. I lost that sense, which I want to talk about. Maybe I will. But gosh, I can just feel it more than I can smell it. It smell a little bit. It feels so good, which is weird, because I think I lost that sense of smell to gain other senses, and I don't have very much taste either. It never came back to gain other senses, which I'll give that up. It sucks. I can't smell the rain. I can't smell fall. Spring, summer, flowers. But I guess it's the price we pay to take our own journey. So anyway, my dream last night was about how he moved these things. So the porous nature of the um, of the coral allowed him to vibrate using I guess it would be a mixture of low and high sounds meeting, is what I'm getting. Um, in that vibration allowed it to just basically hover, and he could do with it, then he could use that tripod system to move it. But he was basically vibrating that coral into hovering, like the technology like the way bees do. They vibrate. They don't flap and fly. They basically vibrate to move, and their wings are porous, just like their beehives, porous nature. So I was getting that, and then it shifted, and then I was shown that that's how they did Atlantis. That it was basically coral based. The terrain of Atlantis was coral, so a lot of their structures are made of coral, using that same low, technology, real low, tone, that tone. To vibrate that technology. Then we go to Egypt, and it's sand. It's a different terrain, but it's the same makeup, because when sand molecules go together, there's almost an equal distance of a sand molecule in between them. So there's that same amount of space in sandstone. So the same vibrational properties were done there, just in a different way, using a different sound because of that terrain. Now let's get into the sound and into pitchforks, into pitch and using forks. What I was seeing was this guy also using a trident, a, you know, what they can show as the devil's pitchfork. And anything that the devil holds, we've got to be afraid of, and we can't touch, we can't go near, we can't use that, you know, because it's the devil. So anything branded by the devil, we need to be afraid of. But anyway, pitchforks. I didn't even know this. I'm not one of these new age healer people. I basically came into this for, I guess I'm going up on 5 years ago into this, and I've learned since. So the way it works with me is I get a message about something, then I go on the internet and find it. That's when I found out that pitchforks actually tune sound, and there's healing pitchforks. I knew nothing about that. But anyway, so I would think that the trident pitchfork would be the low sound. Could be wrong. I could be wrong. And then there's something with the, oh, I lost the word for it. The basically it's the two-pronged pitchfork that's an optical blithe. The Blythe, I think it's called. Blivet, ET. That, I think it's a two-pronged pitchfork that's an optical illusion. That the third prong is actually an optical illusion, which back to how we're seeing these visitors, these objects in the sky, is somewhat of an optical illusion where it's going in and out of dimension, just like the rainbow. I hadn't watched Leak Project in forever because I was bitter about the way I was treated by one of his wrench holders. I held a grudge. Didn't watch him for 2 years. I don't know, something like that. And so I was doing Hopi research, and I saw he had interviewed a Hopi elder, and that man is seeing exactly what I'm seeing in the sky. That Hopi elder, and they're coming to him, and they're turning and looking at him. He could have been. He sounded just like me talking. I swear it was crazy. Again, maybe I'll try and link that video, but just look up Hopi Elders Leak Project. You know, and you'll find it. He interviews them. I guess it's an ongoing, I get the feeling, I didn't go on his page, I didn't sub, maybe I will, didn't go on his page and look, but the feeling it was an ongoing documentary, and boy, do I look forward to seeing that one come out. That's going to be a good one. But anyway, I was seeing, even when I screenshotted what he was seeing and broke it down, it was that smiley face that I keep getting, you know, where I did the tornado and the two eyes and the slanted mouth, and I was seeing two eyes and a smiley face in the sky. When I broke down his picture of his orb, that's what was there, which is crazy. It's, if you want to look at my Instagram, my story, it's there right now. And then in comparison to all the other smiley faces I found, if you want to go to my Instagram page, Skywatch_DC, and then VA Sky, SKIE. If you want to look at my Instagram, I've got that stuff. And I have different content there, stuff I can't put in here. What he was saying is try and get a rainbow. You know, you see a rainbow and then you try and get to it. You can never get to it because it's not in this dimension. It's something using light to fade in and out of our dimension. Like you can drive, but it's got to be that angle, that certain angle to see the rainbow, and you can never get to it. Just like that's why I'm hesitant to people who say they have contact any other way than the knowing, you know, the kind of mental contact, like let's say they touch aliens and stuff like that. That I gotta wonder about, you know, what kind of things you're dealing with, because these are interdimensional, so they're in and out, in and out, in and out, just like that rainbow. And I think, like he said, the Hopi, I don't want to take any of his ideas. A lot of what I'm saying is from watching this. Like he said, the Hopi used rainbow in everything, like the Warriors of the Rainbow. It's being in touch with that in and out, in and out, in and out, that interdimensional presence. It's the start of what we are eventually going to be. We're going to go through a really big shift, I guess, in about, oh gosh, I guess within 10, 15 years. We're going to go through a big shift where we're going to be a different type of being. We're going to sense more. Um, we're going to be much more at peace, and it's going to happen suddenly, which is really going to freak people out. I think the COVID was an experimental test on who can handle it and who can't. When the comet passed, I believe it let off some dust to see who can handle it, who would vibrate out, and who would stay. And vibrating out happens in different ways. It can happen through, a COVID or whatever way your soul chooses to leave. So, he was saying, "You're my stomach growl. I'm hungry." So he was saying that these dimensional beings are a lot like the rainbow, how they're in and out of this. And I could totally relate. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exactly. And they show rainbow when they appear. You actually see the rainbow. Um, and he's over there in like the Tucson area. So his angle and view is different than mine, but I do think we're being visited by the same exact thing. Okay, so back to the tuning fork. Okay, so then in Egypt, you see everyone with the staff, but what I saw was a staff with like four snakes coming off of it. And it was some sort of a tuning rod. So you see those guys holding the staff. You see, all of the, their gods holding like a staff. Those were tuning forks. And yes, it was, I guess, a form of magic, a form of power, because you can do a lot with those tuning forks if you figure out how to work them. And like I was saying with the sun, we can amplify the sun times a lot by using a lens that is concave and swirled to amplify our sun. You can do the same thing with these tuning forks. You can amplify them through that same focused energy, let's say. So that's what I was seeing. The vibration and the sand and the coral relation, and the Egypt and the Atlantis relation, how these two places made those monoliths and things possible because of just because of the train. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I encourage you to watch any videos I can link so you can kind of see what I was referring to. I don't think there's anything else I want to say to you guys right now. Nothing that I can think of. I'm sure as soon as I get off here, I'll be like, oh, the thing I want to talk to you about was but there's something to these tuning forks, and definitely something to vibrational energy and a way to move items. I don't know if you remember, because I remember the local news, a bunch of George Mason students, I guess this is like in 03, 04, found to levitate this rock or this big heavy thing through sound. And they were on the local news, and they're like, oh, look at this breakthrough. And then boom, it was gone. Nobody heard anything more about it. Disappeared. Well, because they got bought by the government. They probably have cushy government jobs making a bunch of freaking money, or they just got bought out and they just got cash to go live lives, and so the government could keep that a secret. So the technology is out there. It's been out there. It's in hieroglyphs. It just takes us to figure it out. So bye, guys. You have a great week, a great day, and I hope to be back there with some sky as soon as this storm passes. Talk to you later. Oh, hold on. My daughter drew this. She drew a bunch of my clouds in of fall of 2008, 2017, right before I woke up. But look at the wings on that. Doesn't it look just like the RE55 or the wingtail RE55? So there's all in front of it. I just thought it was really wild. So it looks a lot like what we're seeing.